The court of the final verdict is now in session. A plea has been brought to this court that one Tim Tebow should be reestablished to his place as the consensus #1 quarterback in America. The complaint reads that because of Mr. Tebow's lofty standards set last year in his Heisman Trophy winning campaign, that he is now being held unfairly against his own accomplishments from the previous year and thus is not being treated with the proper fairness. I would ask the counselors now to approach the bench. Counselor Holtz, you are the one that is making this complaint on behalf of Mr. Tebow. Would you proceed with your argument?
Yes, Your Honor. I listen to TV analysts. I read the paper. And everybody talks about Colt McCoy, Sam Bradford, Chase Daniels, and nobody says a word about Tim Tebow. If I had to select one quarterback to win a football game, I would want Tim Tebow for many reasons. Number one, he is a winner. He has won the national championship. He has won the Heisman. He is a leader. He's tough. He's physical. He plays in the most difficult defensive conference in the entire country. He never complains. He doesn't showboat. He doesn't want any accolades. All he does is his job, and I think he's outstanding and not getting the justification he truly has earned and deserves.
Your Honor, those are all good points, but the bottom line is, where was Tim Tebow when they played Ole Miss? Didn't show up. They didn't win. They lost the game. The quarterback right now, the best one in the nation, there's no question it has to be Colt McCoy. On the biggest stage, the biggest game of the year, what he was able to do to perform at such a high level, bringing his team back from a deficit, throwing for over 275 yards, didn't turn the ball over, biggest stage in the conference with the best quarterbacks in the nation, bar none. There's no question about that. Colt McCoy is the best quarterback in the nation right now with an undefeated #1 football team.
Your Honor, he did have a fine day, but we're talking about one day. He hadn't been under the limelight. He hadn't been under the pressure. He hadn't been under the scrutiny that everybody else has put on Tim Tebow. And I beg Your Honor, look at it fairly and honestly and give justification to Tim Tebow, who has not received it thus far.
Your Honor, this is very simple. He's been under the limelight. He's been under the pressure. He started as a freshman. So he's been in that position, had a tough sophomore season.
I object. I object. He did not start as a freshman.
Sustained.
He started as a freshman.
I sustain the argument. Chris Leak was the starting quarterback as a freshman, and also I would like stricken from the record the fact that Tebow won the national championship. Part of the team, Chris Leak was the starting quarterback.
Thank you.
I would appreciate it if you would dismiss this case for lack of preparation.
Lack of preparation. It's on your behalf.
There's plenty of evidence on both sides. I would say that both of you have made compelling arguments. I do believe that in many cases that Mr. Tebow has been held to an unfair standard based solely on his excellent performance last year. However, I would have to agree that perhaps in this particular season up to this point, that Colt McCoy has been the stronger quarterback, and therefore I'm not prepared at this moment to return Tim Tebow to his previous place as the consensus #1 quarterback in America. This court rules in favor of Counselor May.
That's obviously your drinking buddy as well, because nobody in the right sense.
You
out of order.
$50 fine for contempt.
Make it 100. I don't care because
it's 100. It is. If you want to appeal on behalf of Tim Tebow, you can do that, and we will put that out to the people to make the final decision. ESPN.com. You can log on, search, and tell us whether you think that Tim Tebow is the best quarterback in the country right now. This court is dismissed.
I want to tell you, you're talking about one game, one damn game.
One game.
The guy was not a good quarterback last year. It was very disappointing.
Last year doesn't have anything to do with it.
We're talking about the best quarterback, not who had the best day, not who's played the weakest damn schedule. Who in the hell's Texas played? Do they played Oklahoma?
Sounds like Analyst Lou may need a session with Dr. Lou.
Well, you wait till he sees this highlight coming up after the break with Notre Dame and North Carolina. You get the sense that Lou's a little competitive. So too is Jimmy Clausen. But as bad as Lou might feel about losing that's nothing compared to the way the Wolverines feel right now.
But I want to apologize to the people for some of my language there. I did not know the camera was over. I hate to lose. Hey, Colt McCoy, you're the leading Heisman. God bless you. I don't mean anything against you, but I'm representing Tim Tebow. When I represent somebody, I'm going to do it to the very best of my ability, and I still think it was a bad decision, but I apologize. I'm glad we're on at 1 o'clock in the morning and all the children are in bed.
Give it up, Coach. All you need is a nice session to sit down with somebody that you can talk to and relate to, like Dr. Lou.
Hey, Dr. Lou talked to Mac Brown this week. What do you mean?
You know, it's okay for Dr. Lou to talk to himself, but when I start worrying is if he starts answering.
That's the problem.
But I want to tell you, this was a crazy football weekend. It really was.
You know, second time in 3 weeks we've had 3 of the top 5 lose. It happens again. Nobody's safe. Nobody's ever safe, and we'll do it all again next week. Thanks for being with us. See you next time.